Oh, hi. I finally found this set on sale. Why does that matter? Why would you care? Well, the reason I'm saying it is because I wanted this set from the moment it was released. I wanted this. I thought it would go great with my other two Yoders. But it was just so overpriced. Like so overpriced. Like at least $10 less, but still overpriced. So I was like, if they ever bring it down $10, if I ever find it for at least $10 less, then I'll buy it. I even had it once and ended up taking it back because I was like, I can't believe I just spent that much money on this thing. So I finally found it at Target on sale for what, like 55 instead of 70? Or was it 65 instead of 80? I think it was 65. Whatever it was. It was like $15 less than what it is currently on lego.com. So I was like, done, sold. Finally. And now here I have Grogu. In fact, it took so long for me to get this set. He wasn't even named yet when this darn thing came out. And now I don't want to call it the child. I want to call it Grogu because his name is Grogu. But I absolutely loved it. It was an all right build. I love the way they look like this with the studs all over the place. I admire the aesthetic of it. I like the look of it. But it doesn't make for a very entertaining build. I hate the whole make a frame and then pop on the sides and the back and the front and then we'll go from there. So obviously the most enjoyable part of this build was his head. I mean, the hands and arms were all right, but when it comes to these builds, I'm not a big fan of just building a side and then sticking it on, But it looks fantastic. It's a great set once it's built. It just takes away from a lot of the fun when you're building it. But overall, he's fantastic. He's got his little hands. His hands don't do much because his arms can't move. So I wanted to put his little ball in this hand and have him using the force with this hand. But this hand doesn't do much. You can move the fingers a little bit. But as far as the hand, sure, it moves, but not very well and not all the way. This one moves all the way, but it's the only one that can actually hold his ball. So you can either have him holding his ball, or you can have him using the force, but you can't have both, which is a bummer. I do like that they made it so that, you can move the ears, perk him up, make him all depressed, whatever works. And the mouth, that's a nice touch. This goes a long way. You just open it a little bit. Hey, how's it going? I'm having a great day. Or you can, close it, lift the ears, and it's like, I'm not so sure about things. And the eyes, you can barely tell, but there's just a tiny bit of brown in there. I like it. They were very specific about which way to put it. So, like I said, overall, it's a nice display set. Not very entertaining to build. And playability, obviously, I mean, it's a display set. Although my son was thrilled for me to get more of these done, because he said as soon as it's done, he's going to make some stop motion videos with it. I'm like, that's a great idea. This would be perfect for stop motion, or even cosplay if you just need, I mean, it's decently weighted, but it's perfect size for almost, I mean, at one point he would have been this size. So for the most part, this is pretty much actual size of his appearance in episode 1 at least. So yeah. I like it, but overall, is it worth its retail price? Absolutely not. If this thing was still, well, I think it was 80. Originally 80, and I was like, I would only pay 70, and I ended up getting it for 65. Yeah. So yeah, I would never pay $80 for this thing. Are you kidding me? They got that new droid out, and it's 100. And it's like smaller than this. I'm like, I don't think so. You gotta be crazy. But like I said, I wanted this to go with my other Yoders. So let's just see how well it goes in comparison with my other Yoders. Okay, now as you can see, this one's a little bit bigger, but it does go quite nicely with Grogu here. I like it very much. This Yoda, I wanted to compare it to the 20-year difference and the other differences for this one than my other one. I like the fact that this one comes with a lightsaber, and it's pretty much a replica of a huge build that they did when I went to, not the first, I went to the first, but I also went to the second ever Star Wars celebration back in 2002, and they had a Yoda just like this, only like, I'm telling you, that thing was, it had to have been, I mean, to the tip of its lightsaber, it must have been 2, 3 stories at least. I'm like not kidding. Like this thing was ginormous. It filled the whole room all the way up to the ceiling. The giant lightsaber lit up and it was posed exactly like this. So I kind of think of this as like a commemorative trophy. Yes, indeed. Of that statue that they had at the second Star Wars celebration. And I do love, you can move the eyes on him. You can make him angry. You can make him sad. So he's cool. His head moves. His fingers move. You could technically remove his lightsaber. Doesn't really do much after that. So I love this. Now, another thing I didn't mention about Grogu here. Grogu is the only one of the three. What are you talking about? There's only two. Yeah, wait for it. Only one of the three that doesn't have feet. No feet appearing in Grogu. I mean, I get it. You don't really see them in the show, but they're there. I mean, they could have, just put, it's whatever. But as a completionist, it kind of bothers me that I have three, but only one doesn't have feet. Anyway, this here, don't question why he has a gun. I don't. That was actually my first ever Lego error. When I bought this set, I opened up the bag that came with the minifig, and there was a little 6-shooter in it. This gun was in the sealed pack that Yoda was in when I bought this set. So I said, well, I guess that's Yoda's gun. I need a big one for him, but I thought that was kind of funny. So that's why Yoda's holding a gun, because my set came with a gun. So mine's even more special. So yeah, the two of them together look absolutely fantastic, right? Yeah, I think it's great. But again, this one was also to compare with the one I had gotten 20 years prior. That's right. I have the OG Yoda. Now, and another interesting thing is this is episode 2 Yoda. I'm gonna throw down with Count Dooku Yoda. And this is Empire Strikes Back Yoda. This is, I'm gonna tick off that teenager and beat the crap out of that R2 unit with my stick Yoda. Okay, he's got his flute. I mean, come on. He's got his lightsaber. Sorry, Grogu. It's not about you. It is. This video is about you, but not anymore. He's got his cane. I love what they did with it's so simple. And it's funny. Okay, so this came out around the time of episode 2. I want to say before. It was probably like the year 2000. In the year 2000. It was around the year 2000. But this was the first of its kind. Well, they did 2. They had 2 sets come out. And of course, I could only afford one. And now, one of the most valuable, sought-after sets in all of Star Wars, if not all of Lego, is the Darth Maul bust. And at the time, I could only afford one. And it was, I want them both. Should I get Darth Maul or should I get Yoda? I settled on Yoda. I'm pretty sure the main reason being that with Darth Maul, you got his head. With Yoda, you literally get the entire Yoda. I mean, who wouldn't want a Yoda statue as opposed to just Darth Maul's head, as cool as it was? Kind of like when I got the Star Wars art thing, I went with the Darth Maul picture. Because you're getting so much, you're getting a face. With Vader, you're getting a helmet. With Kylo Ren, you're getting a helmet. But with Darth Maul, you're getting a face. More bang for your buck, pretty much. Anyway, so this is, but still, is extremely sought after. Not many people have this guy. And I still love it. I'm shocked of all my moves, all my breakups, in all these years. It's still not only intact, but I'm pretty sure I have like 99% of its original pieces. There's a couple of pieces that I don't have, and a couple of pieces that I had to replace. But for the most part, 99% of it is indeed intact. In fact, I think I'm missing like one piece for the ear right here because I didn't have the right green. And I unfortunately lost. There was a piece on his back because you know how Lego is on everything Lego, especially every single stud. Uh, but for some reason they wanted a little extra Lego, and there was one brick, one of the tan bricks on the back, right in the middle of his back, that had the Lego logo on it. It was a 1x2 brick with that just said Lego, and it was one of my favorite bricks of all time, which is probably why I lost it, because I probably put it Lord knows where, and then there you go. So unfortunately, I did lose that very exclusive special brick that said Lego, but what are you gonna do? But for the most part, I still got my OG Yoda intact. His head moves, his eyes move, and that's it. Again, the builds. See, he's got toes sticking out. These with the build your frame and then build the side and slap it on, build the front and slap it on, build the back and slap it on. The lightsaber and the heads were the only enjoyable part of these builds. Even his ball was more enjoyable than his body, and it was still slightly disappointing. It's pretty cool, though. I've never seen pieces like this. Anyway, but this guy, I mean, come on. This is one of my most valuable Lego sets to this day. Over 20-year-old OG Yoda. He'd been broken apart. He'd been put back together. He's had coffee spilled on him. He's been through breakups. He's been through moves. And here, he still stands. So now, look at this. Look at this beautiful, happy family. I have all 3 Yodas. Well, technically 2 Yodas and a Grogu. Well, technically 2 Yodas and the child. But hey, they look absolutely fantastic together, and I just love the fact that there can't be too many people out there with all 3, right? Right? Let me know in the comments if you have one of the OGs. Okie dokie.